We'll continue with theory and methods, but today we want to talk about the main steps in devising and implementing the research strategy. Research will be done, but you have to strategize. It's just like you have to plan on how you have to make up your research. That is what the strategy is about. So, research aims and selection of topics. So, basically, when we talk about research aims and selection of topic, how does research start? Research starts from identifying a problem that has to be unveiled. That is how research starts. Do you get the point here? Research, when you talk about research, it starts from identifying a problem that needs to be solved. So how do we solve it? That is where we are going to. So we have to research, we have to find out what information we've got before and what information that we have to find. That's why we have to research.
Yeah.
You don't just wake up and start research. You would have started research because there's a puzzle that has to, to put together.
Yeah.
That is basically what research is about. So sociological research starts with the identification of a problem. The problem of research is not just a lack of information, but a lack of understanding. So when you look at research, some will think that, oh, we have to make research here because we don't have enough information. That is why we have to research. It is not all about that. Sometimes research is all even about lack of understanding, because you might have information available to you, but you don't understand the sum, you don't understand the meaning of those information. So you lack understanding because you are not part of that research. You are not there. You've not viewed what would have caused that thing to happen. So research is not just about seeking for information. It's also about knowing or understanding those information. That is the point there. I think it's clear.
Yes.
So this takes us to the factors we have to consider when we are making a research. One, personal interest. These are factors that influence decisions about what to research. So what would have made us to go for this research? This is one of the reasons, this is one of the criticism of positivists. Positivists, they believe that they are objective, that their research is quantitative and it brings more validity. But interpretivists say no, because why did interpretivists criticize positivists? They criticize positivists because they believe positivists are those who think about choosing a topic. So if they have chosen that topic, it means they forget about other topics. It means they are biased towards other topics. So because there is biasness there, there's no objectivity. Why didn't you choose another topic? Why did you choose this topic?
Yeah.
That is the criticism about positivists. I think that was clear. So now it takes us to the factors that influence what we have to research. The first one is your personal interest. So your interest, your experience, and what you want to observe. These are what would attract you to that research. Personal interest, you have interest on that research. Based on the experience you have gathered or you want to gather, and also the observation, what you have to see.
Yeah.
Do you get it? That's the first point. The second one, what is already known about the topic and what is yet to be known. So research are also based on what information are available at this point in time, and what do you think are missing from those information. So that's the second reason why people are attached, or sociologists do research. Do you get the second factor here?
Yeah.
The second factor is talking about the information available and the information that is yet to be known. So yet to be known motivates you to want to know.
Yes.
That's the point I'm making. Is it clear?
Yeah.
The third one, social changes and development. Maybe there's something new. Like the world is evolving, the world is changing.
Yeah.
So things are changing every day. So this might prompt you to want to make research.
Yes.
Do you get the third point?
Yes.
The fourth point, availability of fund. So research has to be financed.
Yeah.
So if there's finance for it, you are motivated to do it. So what does this imply? This implies that you might not even think about making a research if you know there's lack of fund.
Yeah.
But when there's fund available and you don't even know what to do with the fund, like, I could make a research. Yeah, I have some topic I want to make research upon. Now I can do it because I have funds available. So availability of money might influence you to do a research.
You mean like I'm doing a research and I have the money, or like I get the money when I do
You have the
research?
money. Having the money might influence you to go for a research.
It's like motivating you.
Yes. And you cannot also make a research without having fund available.
Yes.
Do you get it now?
It can be costly.
It's expensive, yes. Is it clear?
Yes.
And the last one, what ethical issues are raised by this topic? So we're talking about the moral, the moral about what we are researching. So if you think researching this is unethical, you wouldn't want to do it. But because you feel that it is ethical, you want to do it.
What is ethical?
Ethics means doing what is right and wrong. Knowing what is right, doing what is right.
Yeah.
Knowing what is right, doing what is right.
Yeah.
That is being ethical.
Yes.
So it's the moral aspect of things, the principle to know what is right or wrong. So do you understand what ethics are now?
Yes, exactly.
Doing things right all the time. Is it clear?
Yeah.
All right. So we'll go on to hypothesis, setting, and revisions. So having identified the topic, so for hypothesis setting and revision, you've identified the topic, yes or no? Because we said research starts from identifying a problem to be solved or to be unraveled, right? Yeah. So now that you've identified the topic, what you have to do is to start each stage of your research. So the first one is you review the available evidence. The research you want to do. Yeah. You are not going to be the first to talk about such research. Yeah, whatever research it is. Yes. It might come up in another topic, but still the research has been done. It's secondary. Okay. Yeah. Do you get the point? So what you have to do is to review the available evidence, finding what is already known about that topic.
And then finding the missing one.
Yes, that is where we're going.
Yeah.
But research starts from the literature review.
So see what's available.
See the information. Yes. Look at on what information are available. Yeah. We call it literature review. Is it clear? Yeah. So then we go to the next stage, which is where the idea will be turned to hypotheses that can be investigated. Now, as soon as the literature review is done, the next thing you talk about is the ideas that has to become an hypothesis.
What is hypothesis?
A statement that you have to research to know if it is true or not. A statement that you have to find information about to support it or to disprove it. Yeah. Yeah. Do you understand? Yes. So hypotheses come based on information available. So it is left for you to find out more about those statements so that you can support it to become a theory, or you oppose it and leave it the way it is. Do you get it? No. As soon as literature review is done, now you have the information now you know the information that are available. Yeah. Having done the literature review. The next thing is to take ideas.
Yeah.
The next stage that we go on to is the ideas that we've gotten. So those ideas, we have to turn them to hypotheses. Mm-hmm. Why do we turn them to hypotheses? We have to turn them to hypotheses so that we can further our research.
Yeah.
Do you get the point here?
Is it like the meaning of is it useful or not? So putting it as a hypothesis.
As soon as literature review is done,
yeah,
you can't stop there. You need to further your research, yes or no?
Mm-hmm.
Based on your literature review, you would have gathered information.
Yeah.
Yes or no? Yes. So this information you've gathered with your own idea, you turn them to become hypotheses.
Okay, yeah, after let's say it's going to be a hypothesis.
Hypothesis. What? It's not just going to be a hypothesis. The information you've gathered, you turn them to become an hypothesis. Yeah. Why is it hypothesis? It's a hypothesis because you have to further your research. so that you can follow up with that information, that statement, or you stop using that statement to find your own truth. Do you get the point here?
Yes.
So the information I got, this information I gathered, but you don't just accept them. You need to find further, you need to further your research to back up that statement, if it is true or not. So you have to find your own truth. That is when you can support or oppose that hypothesis, that statement. Is it clear?
Yes.
So that is basically what hypothesis is about. So it's a statement that the research will attempt to find evidence to support or oppose.
Yeah.
It's clear, right?
Yeah.
So this takes us to
So,
done. Yeah.
five
Okay.
studies, yeah.
Okay. So this takes us to pilot studies. So they said, research is a long thing. Research is not something that you start now and finish now. As soon as you're done with the stages, so you can quickly make some pre-research before you go into the big research. You can quickly use some maybe sampling frame or pilot studies to just find information about what you are researching.
Mhm.
Do you get the point here?
Yes.
So for pilot, you can use pilot studies. This is a small scale test of a piece of research project before the main research. So you use pilot studies to just make some piece of research to see how it's going to work before you start your bigger research. It's still going to be the same topic, but what you need to do, what you want to do is just to use few available resources to carry on with the research before you go on to do it in a big way.
So hypothesis and pilot studies. And
hypothesis is a statement that your research would find evidence to support or oppose.
Yeah, and so the three hypothesis, revision, and pilot studies, they're free, right?
Yeah.
And there will be more.
Yeah, that is when we go to the type of research we want to do.
Yeah, and then we're going to yes.
Do you understand? So research will happen, but first there are things we have to put into context. There are things we have to do before we go into the main research, like a pilot study, which is done after hypothesis. Then we have sampling. So for the sampling, this makes research more manageable as it's expensive and impossible to include everyone in research. So you can quickly you can quickly do sampling. By doing sampling, it means you can't use everyone. You can't use the whole population. You cannot. It is impossible to research on everybody.
Yeah. So
do you understand?
Take everyone from a group.
So that takes you to thinking about using some sampling frame.
Yeah. Do
you understand? So what we have to do is that research is called. So we need to have a survey population. So the survey population is about those who have to be researched. The survey population. These are the people we want to research.
How do you know it's like survey population?
There's a topic we want to research. And this topic will be linked to people.
So that the people is the sample that is linked.
Yes, we call them survey population.
Yeah.
So these are the people that we want to research on. But the list of everyone in that population is what we call sampling frame.
Sample frame.
Yeah. Did you get it? We have our survey population, which is the population that we want to research.
Okay.
So the list of people in that population that we are researching is the sampling frame. That is where we base our research on.
Mm-hmm.
So we can now take people in different ways for this research.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yes.
You take people from the survey population
and put it in the sample frame.
In the sampling frame.
Then
Is it clear?
Yeah.
So sampling frame is a list of everyone in the population. Now go to types of sampling frame. So when you talk about sampling frame, it's just a sample. You're just trying to see how you can carry on with information, how you can carry on with your research.
Yeah.
So for sampling frame, we have different types of sampling frame. You can sampling frame schools. You can sampling frame elections.
Okay.
So at the end of it all, we only need to know information. We only need to gather information about this group, this survey population.
Yeah.
Good. So we can do an electoral roll. For electoral roll, it is for election.
Electoral roll.
Yeah, the electoral roll. Those that are going to vote in election.
Yeah.
You can sample it. It's a sort of sampling frame. You want to get information about those that are going to go for election, those that are going to vote in election. So it's a sort of sampling frame. You want to know the numbers of voters, the numbers of registered voters, the numbers of those that are going to be voted, the numbers of those that are eligible to vote. So it's a sampling frame. Do you get the point? The other one is telephone directories. For telephone directories, basically they use it those days for the landlines. You know, in a whole house, there might be just one person with a landline. The whole house might have just one landline. There's no mobile phone then.
Yeah.
So the call will be put through to that individual in that family that has the landline. So each calls will go to each member, each individual in the family with the landline.
Okay.
So that individual will be the one to ask the questions.
To ask or to answer.
To ask the questions, to ask the questions.
Yes.
To answer those questions, the call will be put through to that individual. The researcher will ask the question.
Yeah, and he will answer. So the call.
So you answer the question, you are the respondent.
Yeah.
And the person asking you is the researcher. Is it clear?
For each household, there will be one.
There will be landline, yeah.
Yeah.
Not like now that we have mobile, everybody could be called.
Yeah, so that's not like impossible. No?
Yeah, nobody uses it.
Yeah.
Okay. Then we have the school registers. For school register, here we're talking about making research about students. So how do you make research about students? You need to go to the school. Yeah. The school has a school register, yes or no?
Yes.
So, but you might not have access to the school register except if you are authorized by the school headmaster or whoever it is.
Yeah.
Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
So
yes, thanks, sir.
So now we go on. We'll go to types of samples. So we have the first type of sample we have is a random sample. For random samples, this is a sample giving. This type of sample gives everyone equal chance to be chosen as a respondent. That's what random sample is.
Like how?
The survey population is there, right?
Yeah.
The total number, the number of people that has the population that has to be researched upon.
Yeah.
When you have to use random sample, it means that everyone in that survey population could be chosen. That is random sample.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yes, yes.
This sample gives everyone equal opportunity to be chosen.
Yeah. There's no equal. It's equal, yeah.
Do you get it?
Yeah.
That is random sample. Is it clear?
Yes.
We have stratified. For stratified, but the problem about random sample is that for random sample, it might not represent the whole population. It might not represent what you really needed.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yes, yes.
So using stratified sample can solve the problem of random sample. So what is stratified sample? For stratified sample, you divided the sample into gender or age.
Yeah.
Do you get it?
Yes.
So when you divide sample into gender or age, it means you have females, you have males, you have different ages. So you could automatically get information between these age categories, you can still generalize them. Do you get the point? Stratified. Okay. For stratified sample, you are dividing the population, the survey population into gender or age.
You can do both.
If it's easy for you, it's about the cost.
Yeah.
And the timing.
It will take a lot of time.
Yes.
To do both, yeah.
So you can choose gender. When you choose gender, you know you're going to have females on one side, you're going to have males on one side.
But I think it's better to do ages.
Yeah. whatever you choose,
Yeah.
whatever way it's good. It depends on your own perspective.
Yes.
Clear?
Yeah.
So that's stratified. Then we have systematic sample. For systematic sample, this is when there's a regular pattern to the sample frame. Here, regular pattern means that there is a way in which people will be choosing.
Okay.
So maybe for every 10 people, for every 10, one will be choosing. For every 10, one will be choosing. So there's a pattern of choosing the sample frame.
It's like arranged by the letters and then 10 of that, like that, getting one.
Whatever the case might be,
Yeah.
the pattern will be the same all through. A constant way
Yes,
of
yes.
choosing the respondent.
Ah, okay, I get it, yeah.
Is it random?
No, it's not random.
It is not random.
No.
Why is it not random?
Because you're choosing from like, as the example you said, 10 from, you don't choose 1 from 10 or 10 from 100. And it will be like, yeah.
So what's the difference between stratified sample and systematic sample and random sample? Random sample gives everyone in the survey population equal chance to be chosen as a respondent.
Ah, yeah.
But for systematic random, it means you have a pattern. There's a pattern to choose respondents.
It's not equal.
It's not.
Yeah.
There's a pattern to choose respondents. That means the pattern will be followed all through. So maybe, for example, for every 10 people, we choose one.
Okay.
So the next 10 people will choose one. So not everybody has equal chance to be chosen. The last person after 10 will be chosen. The last person after 10 will be chosen. So those between 1 to 10 will not be chosen. But in random sample, those between 1 to 10 might be chosen because everyone has equal chance to be chosen.
Yes, yeah.
Do you get the difference between random sample now and systematic sample?
Yeah.
In random sample, everyone has equal chance to be chosen. In systematic sample, there are patterns to follow to choose a respondent.
Yeah.
Is it clear?
Yes.
So that stratified, that means you group the survey population into different groups, maybe through age, gender, stratified.
Yeah.
Then for systematic, I'm just quickly reviewing.
Okay.
For systematic, that means you follow a pattern to choose the respondent.
Yeah.
Then the next one is the cluster samples. For cluster, this is used when the population is spread across. The survey population is spread across different areas. So it's difficult for you to put them together.
They're going to take from each area.
So because the population is spread across,
Yeah.
you can now choose randomly different areas. That is cluster.
Okay.
Do you get cluster now?
Yes.
So cluster goes into sample, into random. It's a cluster. It's a cluster sample. It's a cluster sample because the survey population it's cut across the nation.
Yeah.
So it's not stick into one area. It's cut across. So because it's cut across different areas or different locations, it will take time. It will be expensive for you to go on and on to get this research done.
Yeah.
You now random select different locations to do your sample, to do your research.
So this time you're random selecting the location and the people or the individual.
Yes, through cluster.
Two clusters.
Cluster means it's a cluster sample because it is the survey population is not stable, is not in a place. It's spread across different locations. So you cannot go to all locations.
Yeah.
So what do? You randomly pick different locations and make your research. Is the cluster clear?
Yeah.
Then we have opportunity samples. For opportunity samples, this means that at the time you want to make your sample, there are some people that there are some people available at that time that you want to do your sample. So those that are available are those ones that you are able to research upon. So that's what we call opportunity sample.
People that are available.
You want to make a research right now.
Okay.
Lucky for you, you have some people to research upon. That is an opportunity sample.
I don't get it. I mean,
You want to research on a topic,
okay.
and the topic you want to research upon, people are available to take on that research, to be the respondents.
So they want to go. I mean, they want to like.
You find them, they make themselves available
Ah,
at the time you want to do the research.
that's opportunity.
Opportunity sample.
Okay.
Clear?
Yeah, yeah.
Then we have the quota sample. For quota sample, here, this sample occurs when the researcher has decided to, in advance, the number of people to involve the research. So the researcher has it in mind that, oh, I want to make research on 7 people. That's
7.
quota. So that means you have the number in advance.
Okay.
That these are the numbers you want to research upon. That is quota sample. You won't exceed that number.
Yes.
Clear? Then we have snowball samples. For snowball samples, here you find just one respondent, and the respondent links you to other people.
So,
Do you get it or not?
yeah, if you can repeat it, it's much better.
I will.
By the way, quota is like quota.
Quota.
Yeah, it's like in the economics.
Yes, quota is almost the same like economics.
Because it's limiting.
Yeah. So, but for snowball means you're going to find a respondent. And as soon as you find one respondent, the respondent you found will link you with other respondents. You're not going to look for all people that you have to research upon.
Yeah.
You just have to find one, and that one will link you to another one. Another one will link you to another one. That is what we call snowball.
Yes, I get it.
You get snowball with samples now.
Yeah.
So it occurs when the researcher finds a respondent,
That's
which
right.
will link to others, which will link you to other respondents. Another respondent will lead you to another respondent. Is it clear?
Yeah.
So that's all about sample.